Hello everyone and welcome back to Nexus Tarot. My name is Nicole and I'm so happy to see you all here. Today we're going to be tapping into the energies of the upcoming new moon. The new moon is going to be in Taurus. Some things of note about this particular new moon is we are thankfully no longer in Mercury retrograde. Woohoo! But we are still in the midst of Pluto retrograde. So Pluto, is a planet associated with transformation, power, death, rebirth, and evolution. So this is a great time to start thinking about change. Short summary and generalization of the energies during a new moon in Taurus if you're interested in the topic. I recommend doing your own additional research about it from other creators that know a lot more than I do, but I kind of went ahead and kind of summarized some of it for you. So when the moon is in Taurus, there is a focus on getting what we want and fulfilling our needs, particularly those that bring immediate pleasure or security. The Taurus moon can also make us feel a little bit more stubborn and possessive, which can cause some problems in relationships if we don't keep that in check. The new moon in Taurus is a time for new beginnings and planting, tangible seeds for the future. While possessiveness and control may be natural tendencies for Taurus, it is important to learn to let go and be more welcoming to others in order to build more positive relationships. We should also appreciate the present and embrace, that the world is constantly in motion, that it's always fluid rather than trying to control everything possible. The astrological tarot correspondent of Taurus is the Hierophant card. They are both linked to a larger collective intelligence, and they have the capacity to promote community since they have a love for family and tradition. With their perseverance and quiet and assuming power, they eventually become esteemed mentors whom many seek for advice. Their efforts maintain a greater sense of communal safety and character. So, with that being said, for today's reading, we're going to be seeking advice on what have you been holding in, that needs to be released. Like, are you holding any grudges that should be let go? Are you being too possessive or controlling? And how can you be more accepting? So you're going to be choosing from these 3 decks. You can pick more than one pile if you feel called to listen to, from more than one. I've already pulled out the Hierophant card, from each deck, as you can see, because we're going to be using him or her to focus and channel the Taurus energy of this moon. Yeah. So feel free as always to use timestamps provided to jump around to any part of the video, as these are generalized readings, you can, if something resonates with you, you can choose to accept it, the message. And if something doesn't resonate with you, you can just ignore it. These are collective kind of generalized readings. But I'm going to leave you alone for a minute or so to meditate on these, and then I will see each of you in your reading. Hello, pile number one. This is your reading for the new moon in Taurus. We have our Hierophant card here. Now, the figure on this card is the White Buffalo Woman for this particular deck. Now, for the Hierophant card in particular, this is a card that stands for tradition, institution, education, social structure, and hierarchical organizations, which is the perfect card for channeling the Taurus energy going on for this month. So I'm going to put that one right there. So let's dive into what sort of things are you being too stubborn about? Like, are you holding on to grudges? You know, or how can you be more accepting of things? You know, like let go of, basically let go. This is about new beginnings. New beginnings, you know, letting go of all the old sort of things that are no longer serving us. So we have here the reverse death card as, you know, the first card that kind of popped up, and like I think you've definitely been holding on to some things that, you know, let's see here. How do I explain this? You've been feeling very stuck. You've been feeling very stuck. There was definitely something that happened to you recently. It could be an actual death in the family that you were having a hard time moving past from. But I think there was definitely a really big change that, you know, that marked something that was like an end of a cycle. You know, whether it be like, you know, a divorce, or like, you know, like an end of a job, an end of a relationship. Something ended just recently and you are having issues just moving past it. You are very much kind of at this point in your life right now that you think about it every day. It is something that you are thinking about every day, and you are just not moving past it. It's gotten to a point where it's beginning to fester in you. You've got very much, this is sad. Like the emotions that I very much get from this is like you're kind of like almost to the point where you're just like not leaving the house. You're just kind of like putting your fingers in your ear, and it's like, no, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over. And I can fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. But you really should be letting go of it. You really should be moving on. You should start thinking about the next chapter in your life, you know? Again, new moon. This is definitely the perfect time to be moving on and starting something new and taking the steps to, you know, not bottle things in anymore. I think it's definitely to the point where it's like, you know, like this here, you need to you need to pull back the curtain. You really need to pull back the curtain and just accept, you know, the fact that, you know, that yes, there were good things that you learned from, you know, that experience, but in the end, you know, it's become a skeleton in your closet. It's definitely come to a point where it's the skeleton in your closet, and you are holding on to too much of the good things and not just confronting the fact that maybe whatever it was just meant to end. It was meant to die, and you really need to start letting go of that. And as far as like, we have the 10 of coins here. It's like as an unconscious grudge. For a lot of you, this very much stems from family and job and career. You know, the 10 of coins is very much about, or Pentacles really is very much about inheritance and family and, you know, being happy and leaving a legacy, you know. And in this particular spread that I'm using, it's come up as this card has come up into like unconscious grudges that you need to let go of. Like, are you holding on to resentment? And I think for a lot of you, you were very much holding on to resentment of like family. Like maybe, again, someone died and they probably didn't, for some of you, they probably just didn't leave you something that you were hoping to leave. Like maybe it went to someone else in the family and now you're upset by that. Or maybe, like, you know, maybe there was some favoritism that was going on during at the will, you know, when the will was being read and they're feeling very ungrateful by, but, you know, the person's gone. If this was a literal death in the family and you're holding on to grudges from it and, you know, something just wasn't passed on to you, you know, it's, what's done is done, you know? Like, just kind of accept that, you know, you got, like, maybe you didn't, honestly, for a lot of you, I feel like maybe you're regretting that you didn't spend more time with them. You didn't spend as much time with them as you wanted to, you know? And again, like, you know, I'm hearing a lot of like the word divorce, you know, like maybe the divorce hearing didn't go as well as you had hoped, and, you know, you didn't get what you wanted out of it. But, you know, like sometimes it's just the way life is. Life isn't always fair. You can't sit in the past, you know. We have like here, like, you know, the Four of Cups, you know. You've been, I think you're just holding on to a little bit too much to the feelings that, you know, really need to be let go. You're holding on to the not good memories. You're holding on to the memories that are definitely being colored. They're the memories, like we have like a plain bird right here, an actual alive real bird that this person is looking away from, and here this person is just kind of coveting these fake golden birds. You know, they may be golden and they may be valuable and they may be beautiful, but they're not real. You know, they're not real life. They're not something like, you know, like this, something that they should be nurturing. They should be nurturing the things that are real, things that have value, things that are also fleeting. You know, before long, this real bird, you know, if this person doesn't turn around and look at it, this bird's going to die and they're going to miss out. They're going to miss out and all be left with just something fake, something sterile, something that's, you know, something that's not going to like fill in as much emotion as they should have, you know, because, you know, you can have really good memories with the things that, you know, are here and in the present. I think for a lot of you, you're holding on to some grudges and you're holding on to some family burdens and maybe even financial struggles. You're focusing too much on that instead of focusing on what's in the present, focusing on what's in the here and now, focusing on looking to the future. You know, we have here the Page of Cups, you know. How can I be more accepting? How can you be more accepting? Be the Page of Cups. Nurture, you know, the happy surprises. You know, I think honestly, a happy surprise is probably just around the corner, you know? And you probably need to start nurturing your childlike emotions, you know, start nurturing the things that made you happy as a child, you know? Stop holding on to the things that, you know, make you upset because, you know, this relationship, this job, this person, you know, they're gone. And I don't think they're coming back. And you need to stop hoping that they're going to come back or it's going to come back, or you can, when you should really start maybe looking towards whatever's in the present and start maybe even revisiting some of the things that you enjoyed in life. You know, revisit, you know, maybe if you've got kids, start focusing on them focusing on, the people that are around you, the young children that are around you, if you have any, like, younger siblings, nieces, nephews, maybe you are close to just like a child that, awakens the happiness in you, and have them remind you on what it is to be young and alive and looking to the future, the happy surprises. Realize the things that are in the present, not the sterile things that, are false, you know? Nurture the people that are currently still here. If you have any bad relationships or bad drama going on in your family, maybe you need to start to revisit them. Revisit like the happy times you had as a child, and just be like, hey, like, what happened? Like, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if there's like some family grudges currently going on, and no one really knows anymore why. Like, you're all holding on to grudges that really don't matter in the long term. What matters is the here and the now, and the steps that we take to the future. You want to leave. Everyone wants to leave this world feeling like this, with people around them, people joyous, feeling like, like they did what they set out to do in this life, and they're going to leave this life in better hands, give the people around them a better start than what we had. This is something that a lot of us shoot for, but a lot of us don't get. But I think it's definitely possible, but you got to learn to let go. You got to learn to let go to whatever bad grudges you've been holding on to, in your family. Let's get some. See if we can't get any additional information for some of my oracle cards. North Node, destined to have. Yeah. Even if you didn't get what you originally wanted, you're destined to have something good, something great. You're destined to have and leave behind a good legacy. But you gotta just learn to let go and learn to look to the future. House 1, individuality, self-image, and approach to life. You need to start learning to think about how you portray yourself to people, your self-image, how you approach life. How are you unique? How are you unique from everyone else around you? Like, are you the same as everyone else? Just something flat and fake. You need to start showing that you are unique, that you have a purpose, that you have life. Show the people why you matter. Nurture the individuality. Nurture the things that make you happy. Reevaluate the way that you approach life. Life is full of surprises, both happy and sad, but but even the unhappy ones and the sad surprises, the way we handle those helps shapes us for the future. Be bold and make the first move, Cardinal Moon. Yeah, I think I have this deck upside down. Yep, I do. Be bold. Make the first move. Honestly, you might have to be the first one to break the ice, to end the grudges, to end the strife between everyone. You might have to be the one to make that first move and just be like, what happened to us? Like, even if it's this person or job or anything that you're letting go, just be like, if it's closure that you need, just ask them. Be like, where did things go wrong? Where did things go wrong? So that way I have this knowledge for my next relationship, job, you know, so I don't make the same mistakes again. Learn from this. I think you definitely need to be the one that makes the first move. As much as you may not want to, if you don't, I don't think nothing's going to change. Someone has to, you know, tear down their pride, let down that Taurus stubborn energy, you know, that we all have. Like, because, you know, everyone has a little bit of all of the signs in us, you know. Let down, stop being so stubborn, stop channeling being so possessive and guarded and, you know, stubborn, and actually just be like, you know what, I'm gonna let down my pride a little bit, and I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna be the first one. I'm gonna be the first one just to be like, where did things go wrong? What went wrong? Was there even, are we all just being upset for no reason? Was this all just a misunderstanding? Have faith in your dreams. Yeah. Have faith in your dreams. That's a good, you know, waxing crescent moon. That very much, to me, is in line with this Page of Cups, you know? Nurturing your dreams, nurturing the things that made you happy in your youth, the things that you looked forward to every day growing up, things that you always loved to learn about. Have faith in your dreams. Revisit those dreams. You know, nothing is ever too late in life. There's still a chance to go to school. There's still a chance to learn something new. There's still a chance to get that dream job. There's still that chance to, you know, find someone. There's people every day, you know, who reach the end, you know, like in their 70s and 80s and 90s, they still find love. They still find ways to visit their passions, you know, make their dreams come true every day. It is never too late. It is never too late to solve all these old grudges and let them go. It is never too late to learn to appreciate the things that we have currently. Well, pile number 1, I hope you all enjoyed this reading, and I hope to see you all again in my next video. And I hope you guys take to heart, like, nothing is ever set in stone. Nothing is ever finished. We must always keep moving forward and constantly changing. But I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. This is your reading for the new moon in Taurus. We have here our Hierophant card. You know, he stands for tradition, institution, education, social structure, and hierarchical organizations. You know, it's perfect for channeling the energy of the Taurus that is in the new moon. Words are useful. Anyway, so we are going to be looking into what kind of grudges are you holding on to? Are you being too prideful, too stubborn? You know, how can you be more accepting of things? All right. Yeah, that card definitely wants to come out. Here we go. Managed to catch it. We have the Queen of Swords going on right there is the first card. Oop. There we go. Oof. A lot of sword and cup energy going on here. So we've got the Queen of Swords, reverse Page of Swords, it's reverse 7 of Cups, and then the King of Cups. All right, so you definitely probably have been bottling up your emotions. You've definitely been living in your head a lot. been feeling kind of cold. People kind of view you lately as kind of a cold person. You know, someone very logical but and smart. You know, but doesn't, someone who, you know, definitely doesn't, you know, have their heart on their sleeve. You know, someone, I get the feeling that people lately have been thinking you've been very unapproachable. And honestly, like, I think you've just been bottling up a lot of things lately that need to be shared. I'll come back to that. So we've got here, like, the reverse page of swords here came up in the spot on the spread of like, what unconscious grudges are you like needing to let go of? Like, do you have any resentment over anything sort of spot? And I think someone recently, you know, probably definitely said something that they shouldn't have to you. They probably revealed a hard truth that you needed to hear, but you weren't ready to hear at that moment in time. You know, someone who is just very callous about their delivery. Like, they could have probably put a little bit more thought into their delivery, but they just didn't, and you're pissed off at them. That's it. You're pissed off at them, and that is definitely why, like, you're probably definitely feeling like a little bit like pissed off. And I think you probably also have a bit of superiority over them, you know, especially in this spread. Like, you came up, like, in this spread you came up above them, and you're also kind of facing them and they're facing away from you. So you're probably in a position where you have a little bit of power over them, and it's taking everything in you to not be, oh, what's the word, take advantage of the situation. Like, you're definitely living in a moment where you're trying to very much be logical about things, you know, make sure that you're doing things the right way, being just. You're trying to definitely not let what they said to you get to you, but it's definitely kind of gotten to a point where people can tell that it bothers you, because you are very much like, it's like, you know, when you can tell that something is bothering someone when they literally have just like, they shut off their emotions and they just live day to day by like step 1, step 2, step 3. You know, that's kind of like definitely the vibe that I'm getting from this, is they said something that pissed you off and it bothered you a lot more than you thought it would. And now you're just trying to kind of prove them wrong by saying like, oh, no, what you said didn't bother me, but people can tell that it bothers you because you're definitely kind of not acting yourself. You're definitely acting more with like the Queen of Swords energy. I have a feeling you definitely are more someone who is in tune with their emotions. Like, you very much can balance normally. Sorry, I have a little hiccup going on that I'm trying to get rid of. You're definitely someone who can balance, you know, being logical and fair with your emotions. You know, you're very in tune with your emotions with all of this cup energy, but they pissed you off something fierce. They said something that really got under your skin. You know, we've got the 7 of Cups here reversed in, I think you just, oof. Ooh, they really pissed you off. Sorry, I'm very much feeling and channeling like the emotions that you got from this. And it's gotten to a point where you're just kind of stuck. You're feeling a lot of indecision with things. Like, you had a lot of options. You were very much someone who used to kind of like live in your head. You had a lot of options. You had a lot of things that in plans, and you were just kind of, you were happy. But because I think they said something definitely that was like a hard truth, like a hard pill to swallow. And I feel like they said something that basically brought your dreams and your daydreams tumbling down around you. And it kind of brought you to this point of reality where it's like, man, like if I don't do something, I'm really not going to go anywhere. I think they brought you definitely a lot of reality. That is definitely, it's funny, like I was like thinking of talking about it with just looking at these two cards, but like even just including this card right here that just kind of reaffirms to me what I was saying is you were definitely someone who was like living in your head, you know, living the fancy free life. You know, you're thinking of like, oh, I've got this option, like, you know, for jobs and opportunities, maybe even, you know, people, maybe you even thought you had like a lot of people that, honestly, it would not surprise me if you thought that a lot of people liked you. And this person, then what this person said is like, nah, people don't like you nearly as much as you think you do. Like, you come off as someone who is very flighty and stuff like that. And now that's probably why you're trying to channel this Queen of Swords right here, is you're trying to be serious. You're trying to make people see you differently. You're trying to get them to see that you're not this person who just lives the lazy life. Sorry, I just keep coming back to that emotions of like, man, like they really made you mad. They really made you mad. Oh, I'm sorry. Ugh. But now how can you be more accepting, and what will help you like be more accepting of things that you can't control? We've got the King of Cups here. You know, the King of Cups, you know, is a very strong card emotionally. This is someone who is very much in tune with their feelings. They know basically exactly what to say and who to say it to. They know how to give the people the push that they need. I think you're going to definitely get over this. You probably just need to stop, like, not forget what they said, but stop dwelling on it so much. You know, not everyone can be liked by everyone. I think what you can bring to the table is you definitely stop living in your head so much and definitely start channeling, start speaking from the heart. I think what the people that do like you, they like you because you can easily sympathize with them. People go to you for emotional support, and that's probably your strong suit. You know, people look up to you. You know, they may see you as almost unapproachable at times, but when they can kind of get through that wall, that get under your skin a little bit, you know, let down that wall that you put up around people, what they see is someone who is incredibly kind, someone who, you know, has their back, someone who, you know, is willing to stick up for people, and, you know, someone who can, you know, bring a little justice to, bring a little bit of reality to things, but also be there for them. I think you just need to start moving back into, maybe even, honestly, it would not surprise me if you just need to do a little bit of some meditation, you know, do a little bit of heart chakra meditation. I don't know why that popped into my head right there, but maybe you just need to, you know, revisit some of the things that make you happy, make you feel loved, love the people around you. Revisit, you know, if you've got like some masculine or strong figure around. Like maybe you just need to spend some time with them, get them to air out the things that this person said about you to them, and maybe they're going to bring you a new perspective. Maybe they're going to bring things back down to reality for you. Bring things in a way that's more digestible. I think this person is going to rephrase what this person said to you in a way that you're going to be able to accept a bit more. Sagittarius, optimism, exploration, and freedom. This isn't the end of things. Just because, sure, this person said something that bothered you, but, you don't have to just, like, take it laying down, basically. You have definitely got things that are part of you that definitely people find optimistic. They see you as this free spirit. I think they see you as someone who is definitely a free spirit. Again, going in with this Seven of Cups energy. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, kind of like living life optimistically, seeing the good things about people, seeing like, wanting to travel, wanting to see the world, wanting to explore and experience other cultures, and knowing that, ours, like your own specific culture, is not the only right way to do things. We've got yin, intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. It's like the perfect card to sync up with the King of Cups. I think you just need to do a little bit of meditation and tap into your intuition, trust in yourself again, and have a little bit of patience with things. Explore your spirituality again. I think you just need to start tapping into your spirituality a bit more. Do go with your gut. Start thinking with your gut a bit more and less so with your head. Practice a little bit of patience. And just being receptive to other people's emotions. Stop thinking internally about everything that you're going through, and just kind of maybe be more aware of what other people are experiencing. Maybe someone is experiencing something that'll put things into perspective for you. Things that will make things make more sense, trigger like a thought. A time for healing, balsamic moon. Stop dwelling on what this person like said to you, and just start to heal from it. Start to move on. I think you just need to move on. And as much as it probably really sucks, because again, the whole vibe I got from this is they really, really upset you. Is like, if you could just keep dwelling on those emotions, you're never going to start new projects, start new things that you really need to be starting on. This is a time for starting new things, starting to plant new seeds. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Yeah. The Seven of Cups is very much like a dreamy card, We've got like the dragons, the castles, the flying bird and everything. I think you had a lot of dreams, but you just didn't have a practical plan for any of them. And that's probably what this person was trying to say to you, is like, yes, there's nothing wrong with having these dreams, but you need a plan. You need an actual practical plan. And I think that's what this person, this King of Cups person, is someone that'll help put things into perspective for you, but do it in a way that's tactful. Maybe they can help you plan out and realize your dreams, just help you lay out a plan so that way you can start exploring them and having the freedom to explore those dreams. Yeah. Well, pile number 2, I hoped you enjoyed this reading. Just let go. It's just a person. It's just what this person said. Like, yes, it matters, but it really doesn't matter. Like, continue to follow your dreams. You just need a practical plan with your dreams. There's nothing wrong with your dreams that you've been having. You just need an actual concrete plan. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, consider giving me a like and a thumbs up, and I hope to see you all again in my next video. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. This is your new moon in Taurus reading. We've got our Hierophant card right here. These basically the keywords that you can think about with the Hierophant card is tradition and institution, education, social structure, and hierarchical organizations. It's very much like a card that embodies a lot of the Taurus energy that we're going to try to channel. Because what we're going to try to channel is like what we're going to look into is like, what emotions are you holding on to? Like, are you being too stubborn about something in particular? Are you holding any grudges that need to be let go? Are you being too possessive and controlling? How can you be more accepting? Feeling that. Very interesting. So we've got the 3 of Cups here as like kind of some emotions that you need to release, something that you are bottling in. I think, honestly, you're probably having some difficulties with some friends or some people that are close to you. Something that was definitely said. Oof. These 2 right here. Actually, a lot of these tying in together. So we've got the 3 of Cups, we've got the reverse 9 of Swords, the 6 of Cups, the King of Pentacles. We've got here like groups and social, having party, having fun with people, maybe being a little too indulgent. We've got like the Knight of Swords here reversed, which someone is... This Knight of Swords here, I'm definitely not getting a lot of good vibes of. I think someone definitely did something that really cut you deep. One of these friends did something that cut you really deep. They said they had knowledge about you, something probably from your childhood, because we've got the 6 of Cups here. Something that they knew about from your childhood, something that you were probably a little bit ashamed of. And I think they said something to the wrong person, and it really upset you. Something that you confided in them with, but maybe you did something that made them upset, and so they just retaliated back at you. And I think you've definitely still got some resentment over that. Maybe this even happened back in your childhood, and it still bothers you. It still bothers you to this day. Yeah, this is definitely like a trifecta right here. This, like, I wish I could say more, but like, honestly, that's what I'm getting. Something happened, in a group setting, with some friends, and someone attacked your childhood. Someone attacked your childhood. They had knowledge about something that you confided in with them, and they basically weaponized it. Or maybe they brought to light, maybe honestly, for some of you, this is something that just popped into my head. I think for some of you, something happened when we how do I explain this? So I've been recently watching a lot of YouTube videos myself about how people portray childhood trauma. Like a lot of the times when we portray childhood trauma, we do it with like a lenses of, oh yeah, this happened to me as a kid, like, you know, such and such happened to me as a kid, and then people look at you with like this look of shock on their face, like that's not normal. That's like borderline child abuse right there. And you're like, nah, you know, like it wasn't that bad, you know. It's we sort of deny it, and then they try to flip it on and be like, well, if what happened to you happened to me, how would you feel? And then it completely is like a shift in your brain, you know, being like, no, what I went through as a child was not okay. I think that's probably a scenario for a lot of you, is you shared something from your childhood and they completely shifted your perspective of it in your brain. That's probably also like some of you right here, is like this reverse Knight of Swords is like a complete reversal shift. Like you were kind of going through life thinking like, oh yeah, no, that was okay. You know, everything was fine, you know, like sure, it's something to laugh at, you know, it's something that's happened in the past and it's shaped me as who I am. But then like you mentioned it, you shared it, you know, maybe you were having some drinks with them and they just kind of looked at you and been like, no, that's not okay. And it just completely flipped things for you. And now now that's kind of like something that you're trying to you're trying to process, and it's difficult for you to process right now. That's just some of you. Just something that, you know, definitely, like, as I'm looking at these three cards, that like that just triggered like in my brain, like, hey, like this is something that I've been kind of watching lately and I feel like it applies to this. Oof. I think you've also just been with the Six of Cups. For some of you, I think a lot of you are probably being too possessive just of and controlling of maybe even just some of the younger people that are around you. Some of you, I think, probably have kids, and I think you have been saying things to them that might also be causing some trauma. I don't think you're intending for it. I don't think anyone intends to cause trauma, you know, like, unless they're just really, not gonna get into that. But I think you might have said something to someone who is younger than you, and they probably took it in a way that you weren't intending. I think you said something, and it may have even have happened like at a family party, you know, family get together. I think you might have said something to like a younger child, a cousin, a niece, a nephew, someone who was younger than you, and I think what you said to them came off as something really insensitive. Yeah. So if you were recently in contact with someone that was younger than you at a kind of a family get together, you might want to reflect on what it was that you said to them, and maybe be like, hey, maybe this person took what I said the wrong way, and I need to check up on them and make sure that they're okay. We've got the King of Pentacles here, though, of like ways that you can be, how can you be more accepting and of things that you can't control. The King of Pentacles is a very like, this person's smart with their money. This person is very much someone who has money and can spend things wisely, knows how to spend. It's so interesting that something like This is a very emotional sort of like energy going on over here. And then we've got something as like stable as the King of Pentacles. I'm stupid. Taurus. This just I think what you need to do is definitely just continue to be that rock for people. For a lot of people, you are very much a rock that they trust is always going to be there. I think you just need to continue to be, for some of you, I think this is like, some of you, for a lot of you, this is probably like a double whammy. Like some of you are Taurus or even just like an earth sign in general. For a lot of people, I think they view you as this like rock, someone who is very wise and who is always smart about, especially with their money. You know, I think, but how do I word this? I keep coming back to this reverse Knight of Swords. Something was said maliciously as an attack. Someone had knowledge, whether it was you or someone, and someone said it to you, or you said it to someone else, and now their view of you is shifted, and their view of you being this King of Pentacles is kind of in danger. I think you need to revisit them, reconnect with them, and do it quickly, you know, sooner rather than later, and kind of just reaffirm that you are this person that they can rely on. For some of you, this is going to be, you need to probably go to that figure that you look up to who probably has money, you know, someone to give good advice. If you're just not sure how to tackle this situation, probably getting some advice from this wise figure who has, you know, just always seems to have like, you know, probably made some smart decisions when they were younger, and now they have like basically money that they can spend when they want to. They save and they continue to work hard, but if they need to drop some cash somewhere, they're able to, you know. This is the person that people go to when they need a loan, you know. If you need some advice, go to this person. Otherwise, I think for a lot of you, just move forward, continue to move forward, you know, channel some of the good aspects of being a Taurus, being good earth signs, being grounded, and just continue to just be someone who people can depend on. That is, I think, the best thing that you can do, is to just continue to do what you do. Maybe focus a little bit more on your work. Maybe start, because, you know, this King of Pentacles is kind of like looking away from all of these people. Kind of just put them in the past. And especially if, you know, this person, this Knight of Swords right here, is someone who pissed you off, just kind of put them behind you. Put them behind you and just keep moving forward. Just continue to be dedicated, to continue to work towards your future. Actually, yeah. House 3. Early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. What do you know? This whole thing is centered on something that happened in your childhood, I think. Something that happened very early on for you that basically affected how you view the world and how you tackle issues. House 12. Spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Again, 3, 12. I don't know why I said 12. I was like thinking 3 times 6, but that's not 12. No. 6 plus 6 is 12. Karma. What goes around comes around. Just continue to move forward, and I think you're going to heal from it, you know. Spirituality and transcendence is the Hierophant card. Maybe you just need to kind of just go back to your stable roots, you know, your education, the things that you know, things that you were taught. I think you just need to honestly even revisit some of the things that you learned about and just learn to heal from it. Revisit your spirituality. You know, maybe even do a little bit of service. Might feel a little sacrificial at the time, but I think, you know, again, karma, what goes around comes around. What you put out into the world will come back to you. And I just kind of realized, actually, as I was shuffling, I accidentally left one of the cards out from this deck when I was shuffling, the Moon, which is very much a card about, you know, touching into your spirituality, touching into the hidden things, touching into inner demons, you know, the things that bother us. The Moon reveals the hidden things, you know, that bother us. Starts to reveal some of the lies. Honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me if what this person said was a lie. Something to think about. Work through your fears, New Moon in Scorpio. Work. That to me kind of aligns with the King of Pentacles. Just like work through it, keep moving forward. Just kind of work. I think you need to start working on revisiting, moving on from things that are bothering you in your childhood, any childhood trauma that you're holding on to. Maybe get some therapy. You know, everyone needs a little therapy every now and then. Balance spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. Yeah. Or balance spirituality and practicality, I guess I should say. Yeah. King of Pentacles is a very practical person. And we have the Moon here that I left out on accident. And then we also, again, have House 12, which is spirituality. I think you just need to start to balance these things again. I think if you balance those things, you're going to start to feel better about things. Whatever was said at the end of the day doesn't really matter. What matters is what we do and we leave behind. What we do for others, how we affect people, the karma that we put out. What you put out tends to come back to you 3 times as much. If you put out bad, sooner or later it's going to come around back at you, and it usually comes back at you 3 times as hard. But if you put out good into the world, you continue to put out good in the world, continue to give, sooner or later that's going to come back at you 3 times as much. The rule of 3. Some of you are not really into witchcraft or Wicca things or the occult, but I am. I very much believe in the power of karma. It may not come back, you know, when you expect it, but it eventually all does come back. What you put out comes back. All right, pile number 3. I hoped you enjoyed this reading. If you did, consider giving me a like or subscribing. And I hope to see you all again in my next video. Bye-bye. All right, and before you go, please remember that tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. As we all have free will, the outcomes depicted in these readings may not be set in stone. You are the creator of your own destiny. Please let me know if there's a particular type of reading you'd like to see down in the comments below, and I hope you consider subscribing. This channel has been growing, and I'm very happy about that. I'm happy to see that, you know, every day You know, so there's usually at least one person that subscribes, and that makes me happy. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.